But here's the reality is these battles are hitting you every day, whether you realize it or not. Some days you're going to feel it a little more than others. And so as we think about that, if you're in a battle, that means there's an enemy, right? And so basically, here's what I want you to realize is that here's 3 enemies that you're facing on a regular basis, whether you realize it or not. And one of them is fear. It's the enemy of fear. And right now, we are seeing a very high level and volume of fear. There's a message of fear out there, right? There's a message of fear regularly, whether it's social media, regular media, digital media. There's a lot of fear in people. And so as leaders, that's an opponent of ours. That kind of fear is an opponent. The other enemy that we're facing, or the other battle that we face on a regular basis, is negativity. How many of you feel like there's just been a higher level of negativity? It seems more prominent now than maybe in the past or the recent past. So there's been a lot more negativity. So as leaders, that's an enemy to your cause, isn't it? Negativity is an enemy to your cause. And then we think about what's that third one? Division. Division is an enemy of leadership. These are big battles, aren't they? But here's also why I want to congratulate every single one of you, is because you sign up for that every day when you show up. You sign up and you go, you know what, I'm willing to face those battles. And it's probably because you have a deep-seated reason as to why you do it that allows you to overcome the fear, overcome the negativity, and overcome the division. Like if we're going to overcome those, let's think through a little bit. Like what is it going to take to overcome fear, negativity, and division on a regular basis? We have to understand, like, how do I build rapport with people, right? How do I build rapport with people? How do I build relationships with people? Another way to say that, how do I gain their trust? That was one of those 4 needs we talked about, wasn't it? Is the ability to gain trust. As leaders, we have to be able to gain trust, and we do it through that rapport and those relationships. What's another way? Is we have to show that we have an understanding for where people are, right? It's almost like when you mentioned sitting alongside them. That helps us to have an understanding of what they're going through. Another way that was said when we talked about those 4 needs, another one of them was showing compassion. Remember that? It was to show compassion. When we have an understanding, another word that we use for that is empathy, right? When we have an understanding for where people are, when we can kind of say, look, I may not have walked your exact path, but I have a sense of what you're going through. That makes a big difference in overcoming these battles, in overcoming these enemies, winning those battles. When we think about the fact that as leaders, another way that we overcome these, another way that we win these battles is that we give people a value system to follow. We give them a value system, a culture that says we're going to follow certain values because that's what we believe as an organization. That's what we believe as a team. That's what we believe as an organizational family, if you will. We give them a culture of a certain set of values to say, hey, if you're a part of us, this is how we do things. This is what we believe in. This is our ministry. And that's a part of who feels like they fit in and who doesn't. Is if they feel like I'm a part of this value system, I'm a part of this ministry of what we do. And so as leaders, how are we creating that culture on a regular basis, right? And then as leaders, if we're going to overcome these battles, if we're going to win against these 3 enemies of fear, negativity, and division, we also have to do what it takes to build a better future. To build a better future. And so that relates, that 4th need that we talked about was to create hope. We have to create a hope that says things are going to be better than they are today. Things are going to be better than they are today. And guess what? These 4 consistent things all fall within its gate. As leaders and managers with people around us, what am I doing consistently on a daily basis that helps me build rapport, right? That allows me to show understanding, like I understand where you're at and I'm here with you. That we have a better future ahead of us and we're gonna align to certain values, certain things that we all can agree on that's gonna keep us moving in the same direction. And we're gonna hold each other accountable to that because we care about one another. If we get really good at that as leaders, Do you feel you would have the ability to overcome every single one of those three enemies of fear, division, and negativity?